Alright, boys, we are back. I know I've been away for the last few days, just been a little bit busy, but don't worry, we're back. We're getting started up again. Alright, we got the re-sign stage with the Washington Capitals, and hopefully we can get into free agency in this video as well. But there was a few things that came up in the last video. Alright, first thing, do you guys remember about the draft, how there was 3 goalies that were 4.5-star goalies? A lot of you guys were saying that you wanted to see those goalies because that might be a move that we have to do if we can't re-sign Michael Neuwirth, trade for another prospect goalie, alright? Because, again, he wants 7 freaking mil. That's not going to happen. So hang on a sec. Let me, how am I going to do this? I forget what, Dallas was the first team. I remember Dallas. Hang on. You know what? I'll just start alphabetical order. I forget the other 2 teams. I remember there was 3 goalies, though. I think Florida got, maybe, it was like, Carolina got the other one. Yeah, I remember that. It was Carolina got the other one. All right, let me sort by this. Ooh, look at this Gibson guy. 4.5-star. Well, it's red, but still, he could get that good. That's pretty good for Anaheim. Subban, all right, but we know Subban takes a while to get good. All right, Buffalo, they got Ryan Miller already. Calgary, no, it was Dallas. Carolina, yeah, Carolina was one. Lacerte, right? Yes. Look at this guy. So he's only 54 overall, 21 years old. He has a lot of growing to do, but same thing as like a Subban, right? So there's no point in trading for this guy. It's going to take 4 years for him to get good. Chicago, nope. Colorado, yeah, it was Colorado. Yes, Klein, there it is. Wow, looks like Klein was definitely the goalie to go after. Norbert Klein, 71 overall, coming out of the gate, 20 years old, all right? 4.5-star potential. Yeah, it definitely looks like Colorado picked up their goalie right there in the future. All right, and then last but not least was Dallas. Yeah, and Dallas, wow, look at Dallas. They got 2 4.5-star. Why would you draft him, Dallas? Why would you draft him was it first overall? I think this guy went first overall. Why would you draft him when you have Jack Campbell in your system? Oh my God, they could have gotten like McKinnon or Shinkaruk or someone. All right, but there's the 3 goalies. If I had to make a trade for one, it would definitely be the Colorado goalie. All right, Norbert Klein. Looks like he's going to be ready in 2 years, maybe even next year. Good God, if he jumps the right way. All right, so that's what you guys wanted to see. So we'll take a look at that. Now, we got to get this re-sign stage started. We're going to go through it. We're going to sort out everyone first. I don't think that we're going to run into salary cap problems. I know I want to have a really good free agency this year, but at the same time, we already really have our team, right? Like last year, I can't say successful right now. It was a successful year. There you go. You know, we barely made the playoffs, which I didn't like, but we made it to at least the second round, which is what I'm expecting out of the Washington Capitals. So, I mean, we got to do it again next year, right? We got to make the playoffs a lot better, too. We got to play a lot better next year. We got to have a lot better regular season. And, again, I'm not saying that we have to get to the 3rd round. That's the goal, to get to at least the 3rd round, but I don't want a first-round exit. Again, I want another second-round appearance, all right? That's how we're going to build our team. I don't know if we're ready to take that next step just yet, because a lot of our young guns are still getting better. Like a Braden Holtby. Neuwirth, I don't think is going to be on our team anymore. All right? So, I'll get into that afterwards, all right? Because I'll show you. We don't have a lot of space on our roster. So, Neuwirth, same thing. He wants $6.9 million for 2 years. All right? And if I jack that up, it skyrockets. Now, I know a lot of you guys were saying he's not worth it. He's semi not worth it, all right? The reason he wants a big contract is because he's 25 years old, all right? He's not a prospect anymore. He's in his prime, all right? He wants a starting goalie contract. He's 85 overall, which is pretty good. I'd say he's on the brink of becoming an elite goalie because look at those reflexes categories. He's got 290s in there. His lowest is an 85, all right? And overall-wise, his potential is still 4 gold stars, which means that next year he could be getting up a little bit better, which would push him into an elite goalie. So you have a potential elite goalie here in Michael Neuwirth. So that's why he wants a lot of money. I kind of understand it, but I mean, we have so many high... Like, this is not the kind of team makeup that we're having with this team where we have all of our money in our superstar goalie. No, we have all of our money in our superstar forwards and defensemen. We're a run-and-gun offense team. I can't be affording to put $7 million into our goaltender. We're going to run out of space this way. Unless this goaltender is, like, in the 90s overall, then I would take it. But for right now, we just... can't afford it. Now, what I've noticed with the negotiating in this game is you can make their asking price come down a little bit if you wheel and deal with them a little bit, all right? If enough time goes by where we're getting closer to free agency, he may drop it. And if I offer him some deals with his year length, but I just dropped the price, he may come down in price the next time we come around for negotiations, all right? So I'd say for Michael Neuwirth, I'm not willing to go over $5 million, right? Neuwirth, if you can sign for $5 million, I would gladly have you on my team, but I will not pay a penny more for over $5 million, all right? So let's see if we can bring down his asking price a little bit. $5 million for 2 years. He's not going to accept that, but I'm just trying to start the negotiations with him. Braden Holtby. Now, we definitely want to get Braden Holtby back. We want a great contract, right? If we were signing him long term, that would be great, because I could sign him for 8 years at 4.7, and that would be great. I would have no problem with that. It's just the problem is that he's technically still should be getting better, but I don't want to sign him for like 4.7 mil for the next 8 years if he caps off next season at 84 overall. All right, I'd rather sign him for like a 4-year deal at 3.5, and then when these 4 years are up, he wants another contract at 3.5. All right, so it's not always smart to just jack up the year length basically just because you want him for long term. They're always going to want a lot more money. Now, Holtby, I would want him to be less than 4 mil. That's what I would want to sign him for. You know what? I think I can offer him a 5-year deal at 3.555. All right, I think that's a pretty good deal for Braden Holtby. He may not accept that. I can see that, and if he doesn't, we'll just try to sign him for 4 years. But I don't want to go way too high up with our goalie here. We can get Braden Holtby for a steal for the next half decade. All right. And I think, what's his name? I think Ovechkin only has 5 years left on his deal as well, so that would be perfect. All right, so yeah, I'm going to offer 3.555 to Braden Holtby. Hopefully he signs. Andrew Raycroft, we're going to release you to free agency. We don't need you. Johan Gustafsson, we're going to re-sign this guy. Only do a 1-year deal. All right, there you go. I don't want him to get good and then not be able to re-sign him. I want to have a contract dispute every year with the young guys. Anderson, we got to hold on to him, so that's our goalies. Defensemen, all right, so we got to figure out who's going to be our top 6 defensemen for next year. We already have Green, Carlson, Alzner, Schultz, Barker, Hammerlick, we're dropping. I know I'm dropping Hammerlick. So I'm going to release Hammerlick right now. All right, Orlov. All right, so technically we already have 6 defensemen. We got Green, Alzner, Carlson, Schultz, Barker, and Orlov. All right, but we got 3 offensive defensemen here. Now, Barker... he's not signed right now, but he would fit that third line perfectly for us, all right? And if I go into free agency, if I'm going to get a defenseman 82, 83 overall, he's going to be more expensive than what he is right now. So I may just re-sign Cam Barker. But first things first, let's get all the players that we know we have to re-sign. And Carl Alzner is definitely one of them. This guy is definitely going to be a franchise, not a franchise-type player, but a player who sticks on our franchise for a long term. That's why I would call him a franchise player. Now, if I jack up the years, he really does want a good deal here. So I'm going to do the same thing I did with Holtby. I'm going to only offer him 3 years, all right? And then hopefully when his 3 years are up, he wants another deal around 4.5 mil, all right? So I'll give you 3 years at 4 mil. I think that's pretty good for Carl Alzner. He's definitely going to be a second liner, maybe even a first liner if we don't get someone to play with Green. All right, so 3 years at 4 mil for Alzner. I like that deal. Barker, we're going to hold off on you. Jack Hillen. Now, this guy, he's not going to make our team at all, but I need those depth players for the playoffs. Showed last year our defenseman really took a beating in the playoffs when it came to injuries. So anybody who's like 74, 75, I'll re-sign. All right, so Jack Hillen, I'll re-sign. John Erskine, 73. Is he okay? Defensive aware. He's he's a really good body checker. Horrible. No, this guy will be taking penalties everywhere. No, thank you. Erskine, release you. There you go. Hillen I already got. Stafford, no. You know what? I'll just go with this one Hillen guy and then maybe make a trade or a signing in free agency for some more depth defensemen. Marshall, no, we don't need any of these guys. I'm cleaning up my team so we can re-sign a lot of free agents here. McNeil, no, don't need you guys. I'm getting rid of all these guys I know I'm never going to use. Carrier, getting rid of you. There you go. Okay, the rookies. Yeah, Rissling, he's 3.5 red stars. That is still okay, right? He still could reach that. So we'll give him a contract. Why not? Next was Byström. He's already signed. Morrissey, Josh Morrissey. We definitely got to re-sign this guy. Hopefully he only takes 2 years to be ready to play with us. All right, he's definitely going down to the minors this year. He's not playing on our team. Because, again, we're not a rebuilding team. I want to be making the playoffs and having a good playoff run every year with this team. All right, we owe it to Ovechkin. Ovechkin shouldn't have to go through a rebuild at his age. No way. You play for Ovechkin, your captain, your franchise. Barker, no, Alzner. Who is this guy? Kundratek, no, don't need you. Release you. And I think that's everyone. Yes, that's everyone. Okay, so that's all of our defensemen taken care of. Let's move off to right wingers. Who do we got? We got Joey Crab. No, thank you. I'm going to release Joey Crab. There you go. And Johnson, we're going to release Johnson. There you go. Perfect. Corvo, we'll resign this Corvo guy. There you go. Perfect. And Stevens, 3-star. Now we'll leave him down there. That doesn't matter. Left wingers. All right, let's see this. Wojtek Walski. Now, last year, Wojtek was only making 0.6 mil, which was great. Now he wants 2.25. No, thank you. No, thank you. The best he would play is the third line. We don't need offense on the third line. We already have offense everywhere else. No, thank you. Wojtek, goodbye. I got to save money. I can't be spending 2.2 on you. Cassavant, nope, we can release you. There you go. And a Claxon, we can release you too. Very good. Stevenson, we'll re-sign this Stevenson guy. There you go, two-way deal. Perfect. Centers. All right, so we got, oh my God, look at Baxter, man. 90 overall. I can't wait to see what him, Eriksson, and Ovechkin do next year. It's going to be outstanding. Stashny, he's on his last year at making 6.6. Hopefully next year we can sign him for around 4.5, maybe 5, and then he will be worth it. Mike Ribeiro. All right, so Ribeiro, he only wanted 3.3 mil, which is a steal for Ribeiro. The only problem is that I don't want to give him a 4-year deal because then, if he gets worse this year, I won't be able to unload that contract. I would want to sign him to a 1-year deal, but then he wants 3.9. All right, which isn't a bad. What's a 2-year deal? Ooh, you know what? I could just sign him to a 2-year deal at 3.4, all right, and he'll be 35 by the end of it. He'll still probably be hovering around 83, 82 overall, but more importantly, what I could do is I could sign him for this year, and then at the end of this year, trade him at the trade deadline. Hopefully, Johansson's ready to go for next year. And if he's not, we can just let him play for his last year on his deal. Yeah, you know what? I got to re-sign Ribeiro. I'm just thinking about the years offered. 2 is good. 2 is good. I could trade him, or if I want to keep him, it's not for too much longer. As asking price 3.4, let's give him 3.15. All right, that's pretty good for Mike Ribeiro. Perfect. All right, Johansson. All right, so we got to re-sign Johansson. Now, he's only, 80 overall, all right, but he still has his 4 stars, and they're gold, and he's only 22, so they're going to stay gold for another 3 years. So this guy, I'm hoping that this guy can replace Ribeiro on the second line. I'm hoping that he will become that 83, 84 overall playmaker, all right? So I would want to sign him long-term right now. Now, look, he already wants 2 mil, so he knows he's going to be a good player. Oh, actually, look, it goes down with the year length. Oh, that's good, actually. 4 years at 2.1. Okay, that's way too high for him now. You know what? I'll give him 4 years at 1.85. All right? He might not sign for that. 1.9. 4 years at 1.9 for Johansson. I think that's a steal for right now. All right, I'll offer him that. Zach Hamill. Let's see this. We got to re-sign Zach Hamill. 2-way deal. Oh, my God. He wants a 1-way deal? 1.5? How good are you? Yeah, you're not bad offensively, but no, 75 overall. You're playing in the minors 1 more year, son. 2-year deal, 2-way deal. Sorry, 1 year. How much? Oh, okay, good. He wants 7.75. He doesn't want a 2-way contract, but if I give him the maximum 2-way contract, he may accept it. So I'll 1 year 2-way contract at 0.925. Hopefully he can accept that. He's not. I don't want to give him a 1-way contract just yet. Carmen, no, you're not ready to play. You're gonna be released. Poltny, nope, we're gonna release you. There you go. Hendricks, we're going to re-sign. Yeah, hang on a sec. Stoa. We can release Stoa. Yep, release Stoa. There you go. Where was he? Hendricks, we're going to re-sign. Hendricks. Yeah, I know he's only 72 overall, but you see what I mean? He's listed as a 4th-line grinder. Yeah, and anything a depth forward for us. So I want to get Hendricks signed. I could probably sign him to a 2-way. Yeah, I can. Yeah, definitely get Matt Hendricks back on this team. Perfect. All right, you Garbutt. No, release you. There you go. And, oh yeah, you guys were saying that Max Domi ended up being a 4-star potential draft pick. So that's really good. A trade asset of the future, or maybe just a first line. No, he won't be a first liner because we already have our first line. But a second liner, maybe in the future. Hell yeah. So that was a good draft pick. I'm glad I did it. And Jeremy Boyce Rocheval, JBR. Hopefully this guy becomes our 3rd-line center of the future. All right, or maybe even better. You never know. So we'll re-sign that guy as well. All right, so there's our center. So we got everything done. Let's advance a day here. Let's see what happens. Let's see if Alsner and Holtby signed. I guarantee you Neuwirth said no, but I'm trying to see if Neuwirth will lower his price at all. All right. Again, if I could get Neuwirth for 5 mil, I would want to sign him. I would want to keep him. All right, so hang on. Braden Holtby, so we got Braden Holtby. That's good. Ribeiro we got signed for 2 years, so that's good. Matt Hendricks we got. All right, Jack Hillen we got. Alsner decided to sign, so that's really good. Michael Neuwirth rejected the offer. We knew that was going to happen. Johansson accepted, so that's really good. Zach Hamill, good. Hamill accepted the two-way contract. Perfect. Domi accepted. Corvo, Rissling, these are all my rookies now. Yep. All right, so we got everyone pretty much signed in that first go-around, and we still have $8 million to work with. So that's perfect money going into free agency. All right. But I think we still have Barker to see if we want to sign. So there's all the forwards taken care of. We've already signed all of our forwards. We have Cam Barker to deal with and Michael Neuwirth. All right, so let's see if Neuwirth dropped his price at all. What was he at, 6.9 before? You see what I mean? He was at 6.9 for 2 years, and it went up to like 7 something for 3 years. Now it's 6.7 for 3 years. So he's dropped it a little bit. Let's see if we can drop it again. I'm going down to 5 mil. I'm not giving you anything more than that. I mean, I'd barely be able to get him for like 5.7 right now, maybe, all right? So he's way up there. I'm not giving him that much money. So let's go one more day. If he doesn't accept this, I really don't see him coming down too much more. All right, maybe like, 100,000, 200,000, but he's not going to drop by like $1 million. No way that's going to happen. Yeah, so he rejected it again. Let's see if he raised the price, lowered the price. Yeah, he went back up to his original price. You see what I mean? Yeah, he does not want to sign with us. All right, so we're just going to tender qualifying offer for Michael Neuwirth. We knew that was going to happen. And now defenseman. All right, so I got to make a decision here. Cam Barker, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. The way it is right now, we have 6 forwards. All right, we have 1 goalie. We need a backup goalie. We have potentially 6 defensemen. And forwards, we have, let's see, 1, 2, 3. There's our first line. Our second line is 1, 2, and Johansson. Yep, there's our second line. Our third line is going to be Brooks Like, Perreault, and Chimera. Sure, can be Chimera. There's our third line. And then Hendricks is our depth. So it looks like we need at most 3 fourth liners, or if we're going to use Hendricks on our team, 2 fourth liners, all right? So in free agency, it looks like we need to get, or maybe a third liner, and Chimera can go down on the fourth line. So it looks like in free agency, we need a backup, and we need a third liner and a fourth liner, all right? But that would mean that we would go ahead and re-sign Cam Barker, and I think that's what we got to do. How much does he want? It depends on how much he wants. 3.6 mil. Oh, that's not worth it, Cam Barker. I could find a lot cheaper defenseman in free agency for that. Nah, man, he wants way too much money. You're not worth that much. You're a top 6 defenseman, man. I'll give you 2 years. We'll try to do the same thing here with Cam Barker. I'll give you 2 years at 2.75, man. I wouldn't go above 3 mil for Cam Barker. No way. I mean, he's good, but it's just, I won't be able to get my third liner then with that. I got to think about this now. Hang on. Neuwirth. Okay, so just go advance next day. Let's see what happens here. Neuwirth we know is not going to sign, so I'm not even going to try with Neuwirth. But Cam Barker, all right, we knew that was going to happen. Let's see if he dropped it at all. Negotiate contracts. He still wants 3.6 for 2 years. I mean, he dropped it to 2. Can you just drop it down to 3 mil? If you just accept a $3 million contract, I will give you it for 2 years. All right, no doubt. How many days left do we have here? All right, so we only have a few days. I'll try it just a few more times. I think I got to re-sign Barker, though, boys. I think I got it, because we already have our top 6 filled out. I know I want to check out free agency, but if I don't sign Barker and we go into free agency and there's nobody there, then he's going to want like 4 mil. All right? I mean, it's tough to say. He still wants 3.6. Come on, man. Drop it down. Okay, 1.5. All right, I'll give you 3.15. All right, that's as low as I'm going to go. 2 years at 3.15 for Cam Barker. All right, so that's as low as we're going to go. And Neuwirth, we're not even going to try for you. Come on, Barker. I need you on this team. I need you on this team for this year. I don't want to... Yes! All right, so we got Cam Barker for 3.1, all right, for 2 years, so we can definitely trade him at the end of this year or hold on to him for 1 more year, and it's not going to be a problem, all right? But we can definitely trade away an 80 overall defenseman for 3 mil. Definitely, that won't be a problem. All right, so yeah, I like the way this looks now because now we get to go into free agency with a trading asset in Michael Neuwirth, all right? with our 6 defensemen already found, and we just need a third liner with 2 fourth liners, or a third liner and a fourth liner. And guess what? We have $5.6 million to work with, all right? So if there's like a superstar in the free agency, I won't be able to get him, like somebody worth more than 5.6, but that's all right, because, again, if we're going to make the playoffs, we need some depth this year. We need some depth scoring this year. We need to have better third. We need to have better fourth liners. We need to have better goaltenders, which we do have right now, all right? We need to get a backup goalie. That's another thing that we need to get. All right, so let's check the free agents. Let's see who's available in here. We'll go forwards. No, we'll start off with goalies. Goalies, all right. So the best goalie in the market is Pascal Leclerc. Now remember, we're going to need a backup goalie, so I might want to go after one of these guys. Maybe go after somebody like Michael Layton, because it looks like I could get him for a two-way deal, all right? Not have to worry about cap space. All right, so let me know about the backups. We're going to need one because we're trading Michael Neuwirth. All right, there's a few. Is there any young goalies? Nah, not really. All right, so let's move on to defensemen. Let's see. All right, so there was Jordan Leopold who was available, who was better than Cam Barker. But you see what I mean? He wants 4.4 mil. I mean, if I used that, then I wouldn't have been able to sign my forward. So I wouldn't even want a Jordan Leopold. I mean, Hammerlick was the second best defenseman in there. We already have our defenseman. All right, the question is, do you guys think that Orlov should be in there? Or should we get someone else to replace Orlov? All right, I mean, I want to play him, but again, I want to be a good team this year and make the second round. So I'll put that question to you guys. Are you okay with Orlov being back there on the third line defensive core? All right, potential-wise, there's a lot of young defensemen. I'll sign all of these guys, absolutely. All right, last but not least, forwards. Let's see. Remember, we need a third liner and a fourth liner, basically, okay? So we got Ryan Clough, who could maybe fit on that third line. We have the money that we could sign him, 4.6 mil, but it is kind of north. If we sign him, then we won't really be able to sign the backup goalie that we need and that fourth liner that we need, all right? Maybe Chris Higgins would be a little bit better to play on that third line, all right? 3.15, you definitely save some money that way. Maybe Ryan Smith, Dan Cleary, Wojciech Wolski, Hanzus, Dustin Penner. I think Dustin Penner would be perfect. Holloway, Armstrong, Malhotra. All right, you're getting into some really grindy guys down here, but that would be perfect. That's why I wanted to save a lot of money, because now we could go out and get Malhotra, Desharnais, and Penner. We could get 3 really good depth forwards now. All right, and I think that's what we were missing last year, having a really good third and fourth line. So, you guys know our team. I want to end this video. I don't want to re-sign anyone. Hang on, let's just check out the potential for young guys. Not really anybody. All right, so you guys know our team. You guys know who's available in free agency. And last but not least, we have Michael Neuwirth that we can trade. Now remember, we can't trade for someone who has a lot of salary cap, because Neuwirth, we didn't sign him. So we only have 5.6 without having Neuwirth any money into him, all right? And if we're going to sign like 3 forwards, then that's going to go toward our cap space. So if we're trading Neuwirth, it might be smart to trade him for a prospect or a draft pick, someone that doesn't have cap space to worry about, all right? Because then we won't be able to re-sign. His trade value is that high, so I will give it to you guys. We can trade away Neuwirth. Well, we have to trade away Neuwirth. Who should we trade him for? I want to sign some depth forwards and Orlov. How do you guys feel about Orlov? Maybe we should make that trade for another defenseman. I'll leave it to you guys, all right? Let me know, and in the next video, we will go into free agency and make some crazy trades in preparation for year 2. All right, boys? So I will see you in the next video.